Welcome back to GBR. Despite the country's economic difficulties, Bello Megari, the executive secretary of the National Lottery Trust Fund, claims that Nigerians wager billions of dollars annually. At the biennial National Gaming Conference second edition, which took place in Lagos Tuesday, Megari revealed this. The National Lottery Regulatory Commission was in charge of organizing the conference. Speaking at the occasion, Megari claimed that the expansion in the online betting industry has been exponential, thereby recommending that the federal government set up a structure to incentivize the nation's gambling business to pay taxes. Still in Nigeria, most of the major top-tier 1 banks have reeled out their third quarter results ending September, recording impressive growth across all metrics. All right, Business Analyst Chika Mbonu joins me now to discuss the big numbers, starting with the big 5. UBA Group, Zenith Bank, Jitco Holdings, Access Corp, as well as FBN Holdings. Let's get into this. Good morning, Chika Mbonu. Let's hit the ground running. We're talking big money here.
Big money.
So much money is rolling in.
Big money.
A couple of these banks are reporting ₦1 trillion for the first time in some of those numbers. Give me your thoughts about this big. Okay. 2 of them banks, the others are also holdcos for their commercial banks.
Okay. All right. Let me put it out there, first of all, that what we're trying to do in the next few minutes is not a comparison of really one bank to the other, or calling a league table, saying this is number 1 and this is number 2.
And the Premier League.
Yeah.
But this looks like a Premier League.
No, because of the fact that, you don't call a match of 90 minutes, 60 minutes into the match. This is three-quarter Q3 results.
9 months.
9 months.
Yes.
And if you listen to me in 1 or 2 minutes, you understand why I'm making those comments. Because the figures need to be looked at in context of what the key issues that are surrounding these results. The first one is the impact of the devaluation, the results of had resulted in the massive growth in the profitability of the banks. And do recall that the exchange rate was moved from 450 or 460 overnight to almost 800. Correct. And that had a salutary impact on those banks who had more asset in dollars than liabilities. Simply put, for our viewers, if you had $100 before, it was worth 46,000 naira. Now, if you have $100, when it's 800, it's worth 80,000 naira. So immediately, immediately, on the naira terms, you're richer. And the results of these banks are usually computed in naira. So any of the banks that had a lot of dollar positions, dollar holdings, dollar assets, immediately will move it from 460 naira to the dollar and immediately to 800. And that has some salutary impact on the figures. So the figures of the results so far, especially for the half year and the Q3 results of the banks, have been, maxed by the Naira devaluation. And so the core business of the banks have actually been swallowed up.
Somewhat, or clouded.
Clouded. But why? How you
by
know?
This bonanza.
But how you know about this is, if you look at the PBTs for the banks, look at the UBA, which had the highest growth this time around in Q3, was 262%. Look at Zenith, 149%. GTB, 155%. FBN, 156%. And then Access, 83%. You'll find that in other circumstances, in comparison, remember what has happened over the last few years. Results have been almost flat.
Yes.
Performance have been almost flat. Even some banks had a fall in their PBT.
Yes.
But now, look at the growth, and so this ordinarily is not driven by the normal business. So even banking. For a more finite analysis we can do, which we're going to do by the end of the year, actually, is to isolate the FX evaluation and see the true nakedness of the performance of the
true picture.
The true picture.
When the tide is out,
yes, we'll see everything. So that's the first thing, as I said, is the impact of the devaluation on the performance of these banks, and it has masked the business performance from the normal businesses. The other thing that was prevalent among the bank's Q3 results is a moderation. What I call it, the creation of a counter-cyclical buffer against the uncertainties in the FX market. So a lot of them didn't bring out all the food from the pot.
Not they put all the FX.
The impact
into the naira.
The impact of the devaluation, surplus. A lot of them didn't actually declare a lot of it. So what happened is that a lot of people are still saying that we don't know where this is headed, but now we are comfortable, recognizing this amount of
on our books.
But the composite of it also is that look at it this way, Bosun. There's an impact on the non-performing loans. Because a customer before who owed your bank $1 million is owing, let's say, 460 million naira.
Yes.
Overnight, it's owing 800 million naira. Does he have the capability to pay back? So a lot of the banks also recognize that and so you look at a lot of banks, their provisions. Impairment provisions have all gone up. Again,
the flip side of the same coin.
The same coin, so that buffer, a lot of them, because of the volatility in the exchange rate markets. The other, I thought about the increase in payment levels. A lot of them have made deliberate provisions for impairment, hoping that things may get worse. The other thing that the Nigerian banks, as we go, because we're not really been this way before, is especially the tier 2 banks, who may have not profited or gain a lot from the revaluations. A capital is going to maybe an issue in the industry soon. Capital may be an issue in the industry soon. And that's going to be a major thing. And I'm also saying that even the tier 1 banks are also going to buffer themselves up more to make sure that things like this don't happen. Now, the other thing that is I can put out there because of the Q3 results is sadly, the shareholders of the banks will not profit from this directly, immediately as in form of dividends.
Why would that be so?
Dividend, because the CBN had a policy that the banks, even though you recognize the profits in your books, in part of your retained earnings or whatever, but you can't divvy them out. You can't give them out as dividends.
Was that advisory or?
I think it's mandatory. CBN usually is mandatory because again of what I thought about the counter-cyclical budget that we don't know about the volatility of the naira. So you can see if they can push up the results. You can see that UBA grew by 262%. On Q3 basis, that's the highest. And then followed by GTB and FBN, as struggling with each other. And then, of course, Zenith and then Access Bank. The interesting one is when you go to the total assets. Now, look at the total asset growth. Total assets. You will find that they're almost like, they had a meeting and said, this is how we're going to grow. You can see the growth were almost at the same range.
Yeah.
Look at it compared to the growth in the PBTs. It tells you a little more about where the real growth is.
What's coming from?
It validates our analysis that the profit growth were driven by the FX devaluations. Even a lot of the growths in assets also are driven. If you look historically in the 2022 and 2021, a lot of them have flat growth in their total assets. In the
somewhat. Because again, we're getting into the election period and all that.
Because this total deposit, the total asset recognizes Naira assets and foreign assets.
Yes.
So if a customer who was owing you $1 million before, that's 460 million naira in your balance sheet, immediately becomes 800 million naira. So you can see that total asset is also growing bigger. The same thing with the total deposit is also growing bigger. So of course, it doesn't take away from the fact that Nigerian banks, especially the top five, grew nominally these line items. Yeah. But the issues are this. As I said, we're waiting for the year end. A lot of banks are playing this game. As I told you, the football match is not called after 60 minutes. It's after 90 minutes now plus extra time. Sometimes extra time at least about 10 minutes. So we'll see the full picture by the end of the year.
There's so much happening in the banking industry, but there's so much money in the betting industry, billions of dollars. I'm just looking at the numbers and I'm wowed. According to this report, $15 a day by about 63 million Nigerians.
You see, when you are going through your rundown, and I think you said the minister said something like, ascribe it to reported it positively,
yes,
that the Nigerians are now betting more.
Yes.
But you see, I did a lot of research on betting and Ponzi schemes and other crimes. When the economic downturn is in a country, it's getting worse and getting worse and getting worse. And the opportunities for making good money are not sustainable money are not there.
And jobs.
And jobs. Citizens of those countries go to look for shortcuts to wealth. And so they're looking for, the easiest way to make money. And so you start seeing things like
massive
growth in betting. So everybody's like, how do I multiply this my 10 naira or 100 naira to become 1 million naira? And people are being sold, So from the betting industry, which is regulated, a lot of them are got into problems by moving over to the Ponzi schemes, the pyramid schemes. And that's why regularly you see a lot of Nigerians losing money. There was one report last week of the one that lost how many billions of naira.
Yes, asking folks to convert it to equity.
Equity, and not even that one. That one was good. This one, the guys have bailed. They have run as usual. And I've done a lot of public service announcement on this. And I said, you make money by selling goods or providing services. That's how money is made. And all those who promise you very high interest rates for little work done, please run away from them. They tell you, Ponzi schemes are a form of fraud that people take money from the new people that's coming and pay the old people. And then they might tell you that, there's this business they're doing behind. And they never tell you the business. In Nigeria, they tell you, we're doing some oil deal. They're doing this something. And a lot of people have lost so much money in that respect. So betting, of course.
For the gaming industry, for the betting industry, would you advocate further taxes? Would you want it more? We're seeing this also jumping in countries like Kenya, where the government is beginning to move in to say, look, we need to tax.
They are taxed.
Not just the betting companies, but those who bet.
They are taxed the same way. The companies and individual winnings are taxed the same way as those who drink beer and smoke cigarettes.
Yes, tax the winnings. Maybe they should tax the money that is placed as bets. Not just wait till it wins.
But remember, as I told you today, there are a lot of people are betting. I'm sure that if you do a straw poll in this place, you find a lot of people are there. A lot of people are betting because the economic downturn in the country and are looking for how to multiply their little money they have.
Don't do a poll at all. I'm getting a whole lot of I'm getting reactions through this earpiece here. You're not listening to the back room. I'm the one listening to the back room. So let's just end it there. You don't want to do full disclosure. It's the first day of the month. The salary is just been paid. Don't go there. Thank you so much. You can leave. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. That's Chika Mbonu, Business Analyst.